Okay. Hi, everybody. We're live. Thank you for being patient. We were just doing a few last details with this one. So, welcome everybody to the Akashic Healing Series. Um, I notice we have a lot of good friends in the audience right now. Um, this particular today we are going to be focusing on religious manipulation. Or, I mean, you could even call it religious abuse, but it is freedom from religious manipulation. And this is part of a series. So, this is the second one in the series. The first one was that they wanted to restore self esteem, restore worthiness. They wanted and then at this point, then they want to remove religious manipulation that keeps us held hostage, that sometimes stops us from developing, and sometimes um, that is uh, something that maybe happened in the past, but maybe it's happening even now. But it's a way to get some more freedom. And then the third one, they're going to restore psychic connections, restore and in basically enlarge your psychic connection to the other side. And the whole goal of all of this is spiritual freedom, not religious, spiritual freedom. And because we are, as a whole people, we are turning a corner here. We are ascending, and basically, in a lot of ways, we're becoming very different. And so they want to make sure that we have the freedom to really do this. Okay, so the way this works is we're going to say a prayer of protection. We're going to then, with your permission, that's why you have to say yes in the comment or yes in the chat. I need your permission then to open the Akashic records. So I'm going to say the key to open the records for everybody. I'm going to say it in such a way that if you're just listening and you don't want to participate, you don't have, we're not going to force you to participate. Just if you accept it, then we're going to open the key, and then we're going to go in. And um, this one is going to be interesting. And I'm going to need your help in this one because it's big. This is a big thing. And in fact, what they've already told me is they are going to be using your Akashic record masters to help out. Mine can't do it alone. This is not enough. This is a big deal. And so they're going to use all of yours to do this. So we're all going to participate in this basically to bring this healing about. And so just so people know, this works if you're watching this live or you're watching the replay. And if you're watching in the replay, then you can say yes in a comment or just say yes to yourself and then be part of it. I hope you'll say yes in a comment because then we know how many people are really participating and if this is really something people want to keep happening. Okay. So, Jean, have I forgotten anything?
I think we're right on target here, Terry.
Good.
Wonderful.
Okay. I'm so happy. This was kind of a lot. Okay, so I am now going to say the prayer of protection. We are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We connect ourselves to Metatron's grid of opalescent light that connects us more firmly to our higher selves. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us as we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, Akashic Records masters, ascended masters, and any councils helping us to assist us now to receive information of the highest truth the highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. And so it is. Okay. And now I'm going to do the Akashic Records key. So before we do this, I want everyone, we're going to take 3 deep breaths and just try to get really relaxed here. I'm going to take a breath in, I'm going to hold it a bit, and I'm going to let it out for longer than I took the breath in. You don't have to follow exactly how I do it. However you breathe is perfectly fine. So breath in, hold it, let it out. And then I'm going to ask you to kind of focus on your crown chakra. You might, as you focus on the crown chakra and we're saying the key, you might feel tingles or you might feel like you have a heavy hat on your head. One time I felt like I was wearing a big fur hat, really heavy hat. So just focus on your crown chakra to help all of this along. We open ourselves to the light. And with this light, we open ourselves to our truth. And with this light, we open ourselves to our soul's purpose. And with this light, we open ourselves to be guided towards our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And so, the people who are watching this live and the people who are watching the replay is given the truth to best serve them on their healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for them at this moment. I have to say that to myself again. And with this light and guidance, we unlock the energy field of the people watching live and the people watching on the replay to receive the record of their soul. Okay. So, dear Akashic Records Masters, mine and the Akashic Records Masters of everybody watching, everybody who's going to watch in the future, everybody who's going to watch the replay, I ask your assistance in healing the effects of religious manipulation and abuse that has happened over the centuries of time. And so this time, instead of just seeing one hand that's drawing the energetic streams of problematic things out, I'm actually standing back a little bit. Usually I see this light across and I'm at the side. This time I'm a little bit looking forward. And all these energetic hands, all of the energetic hands are there. And I see the energetic hands start to draw out all the little particles of religious abuse and manipulation. I see that at the 0 point timeline where that you first were broken off from God into a fractal of God to experience this life, I see the hands start there. Things actually go well for quite a while. And then I see that it starts where the people suddenly thought, "Oh my gosh, we have to make a sacrifice so that the so that the plants will grow well, so we'll have a good harvest so we can eat. And they start codifying religious things. They start making rules. They start making rules that cause people to have to behave a certain way. And as this grows through the centuries, becomes bigger and bigger and worse, I see them having to draw. That's why we have to have so many hands drawing this out. So they are drawing out, pulling out all the things that hurt our ancestors that were about religious abuse, religious manipulation that hurt them. And I see them drawing out fear and greed and sin, murder, anxiety, feelings of superiority, feelings of lack and loss, sacrifices that cost so much, sacrifices that cost poverty, slavery, jealousy, hopelessness, worry, terror, wars, lust, sin, and other abuse by religious leaders. I see all these hands having to really pull this out because it becomes, as time goes on, it becomes wider and deeper, more affixed to us. And I see them pulling it forward very slowly. This usually happens faster, but it's going very slow because they have to really work together to pull these things out. If you want to add a word to this, if you can think of other religious abuse or manipulation that has hurt you or your ancestors, you can put that in the chat as well. So they're pulling it forward. They are now to our current life, and they're pulling it out of our lives now. So these things, all these hands are pulling it out from this life, from dimensional lives, lives between lives, all cellular lives, all lives lived on other planets, all astral lives, all travel, all lives in any way that you can live right now. They are drawing it out of all those lives. And this is moving very slow, but thousands, maybe millions of cords of these terrible things holding us back are being drawn out by the hands. You can see the energetic cords drawing these forward, drawing them. And then finally getting to the end of our incarnation, and they anchor it. They anchor those things right there at the end of our incarnation. So those things are removed. In a moment, we'll go back and do a clearing prayer. But right now, they want to do a restoration, a healing. And so using all the hands of all the Akashic Records masters, using all of their power, they turn back to the 0 point start again. And I see the hands reaching in again to pull all of our spiritual gifts, all of the good things that we were able to accomplish or have through religion, through believing in a higher power. I see them draw. This happens a lot faster. this is this is going a lot faster and it's going through. But what I see them drawing out is trust, faith, knowing, or I guess you could call it claircognizance even, knowing, belief, humor, love. These are the things that some of our ancestors were able to do, were able to see past the fear and the dogma and the things put on us to hold us hostage. Some of them were able to see these things and still keep their love, still love and have faith, believe. Some of them, just like you and I right now, can see um, what the Spirit really wants for us. They could see it too. Some very special people could see it too. And I see it being drawn forth from all of those hundreds, millions of lives. And now it's drawn to the start of our current life, our current lives. And I see that out of these thousands and thousands of Akashic Records masters, they have appointed one. I don't know whose it is, but there's one here, and they are beaming all the good, all the times people shared and shared food and gave to their neighbors and showed all the love and belief. They're putting it in this Akashic Records master's knowledge. And then I see that this Akashic Records master's third eye lights up and the hands light up. Now, this time is interesting because usually I'm standing to the side watching this, and I see our present lives kind of like each life looks like, for lack of a better thing to say, like a loaf of bread. And then your dimensional life is right beside it, like a loaf of bread. And then if I move the wheel, another loaf of bread, another dimensional life, another life, and they're all, and you can spin this like a wheel. And it has all of your lives in it. And that's how I see it from this view. But unusually, they have moved me to beside the Akashic Record Master that's going to channel all of the good stuff back into the future. And the view is amazing because I've only seen it from the side where it looks like these rolls of life, and now I'm seeing it at the end blown up, and it looks like the flower of life. I had no clue when I saw it that the lives intersected like that. So the Akashic Record Master takes all of the beautiful, beautiful, loving things that our ancestors were able to still keep a hold of, that did not allow any religious abuse to get to. They take that, and through the third eye and his hands, he's beaming it in to that lovely lovely flower of life. And it lights up all the different circles that represent all the lives you're living right now in every single way that you are living. And the energy goes in and it lights up those lights and it starts moving through these lives. And now I'm back to the side and I see the energy moving through, that they're powering this through, powering it on. And it moves through our present incarnations. And then the power starts going through our future, all the way to the end of our future. But the Akashic Record Master has moved up to the end of our incarnation, is looking at the future. And what they're letting me know is that this ability to see the good, to see religious freedom, to see spiritual sovereignty, because that is what they are trying to restore to us, spiritual sovereignty, that we are enough, that we know what is needed for us, that nobody can lead us astray ever again. They're showing me he's changed. He's all white, completely white, and he still has this third eye that's just beaming down our future lives, instilling the knowledge of love, the knowledge of spiritual sovereignty, making sure that we have these skills forever. And then he goes, by doing this, we are restoring all of you to the highest timeline. The highest timeline, the place you are always supposed to be. Please go ahead in freedom. Yes. Okay. So the healing portion is done. But now they want to go back and do the clearing, because remember, they took all the evil, all the sin, and then they anchored it at the end. So in this case, again, I want you to kind of concentrate on your crown chakra and take some deep breaths. And again, I notice that we still have your words of the evil that they drew out, and this will be added to the clearing prayer to clear these things. If you have more, if something else occurs to you, go ahead and put it in there. And Jean, maybe you can shout it out as necessary. Okay. And if you are watching this on the replay, you can say these things to yourself, or you can even put it in a comment if you want. So deep breaths to bring you back to your center. Focus on your crown chakra again. So dear Akashic Record Masters, we request a clearing for the people participating in this broadcast, whether live or on the replay, concerning problems created by religious manipulation of any kind, to help us achieve all we can spiritually and physically in this life and in our future lives. We request a clearing of all the problems brought on by religious manipulation, such as fear, shame, guilt, worry, anger, hopelessness, resentment, spiritual blockages, damaged discernment, terror, sacrifices, jealousy. And I know we have
Control,
Holocaust,
oppression, suppression, uh, ref- refugees, creating refugees, guilt, Holocaust, the fear of the future, fear of hell.
all these and more. We request that all of these are cleared and more, anything anyone adds to this list to allow for a complete healing and deep forgiveness for themselves and others, restoring each person's spiritual worthiness. I ask that they be healed in all lives, all dimensions, all cellular structures, all space and time, in the space between lives, in all astral lives, and in all timelines for the highest good of each person and humanity. The memories of bad experiences with religion will be cleared of their power to hurt. Each person will remember that they know the Creator and remember their power to co-create. The old memories will become a memory that is interesting, but holds no power and is easily let go of. This clearing and healing will be ongoing in this life and into the future. Please restore each person to the highest timeline, to the being they were always meant to be, to facilitate their steps to spiritual freedom for the highest good of each participant and humanity. Beloved Akashic Records Masters, thank you. And so it is. Okay. Oh,
Are we going to close, or
yep.
do you want to talk a little bit about it?
I'm going to close now and then we can talk because I'll forget if I talk now. So thank you. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to keep your records open if you want, because maybe you want to keep talking. Maybe you want to keep the conversation going. If you want them closed, that's okay too. I would like to close by thanking the light for the truth. I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the guidance and compassion towards our soul's purpose. And with this, we lock the records. Uh, First of all, actually, and with this, we leave the records unlocked to those who want access to their own records to keep the conversation going with their masters. But we close these records to me and to anyone else. The records are now closed. Okay. Whew. I don't know about you, but I'm all tingly now. Because
You're-
remember, I'm getting healed at the same time. I don't do this ahead of time. This is done right now. So,
So Carolyn Adams added this, and I think I know that it's a Hugh. It's actually I don't know how to pronounce it, but I
I
think
think
it's a community of
Huguenot.
who
Yeah,
is it?
I think it's pronounced Huguenot, and I think they were French refugees in England that they had to leave. Oh, look. Oh, it's my cousin here. Yay.
Um,
Exclusion. Yeah. I just love, I absolutely adore it when people bring their things in because it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, that hell, that one, somebody made that up, and just to control. It's the power of control. It's the
Mhm.
misuse of uh, someone's trust in you. You know.
Right.
Um,
Because we all want to seek God or however, source, creator, whatever you want to call that entity. We all are drawn to them.
and making us believe that we are limited to our own sovereignty. I mean, who are they to say that?
Right.
You
Right.
know, it's our own sovereignty. It's our birthright. It's
Yeah.
just,
And Starfish Jenny says they told me those scary things when I was a child. They did, and they weren't true. They were just to control us because each of us are sovereign and brilliant in our sovereignty.
so, Rose, you can work on maybe just doing some uh, breathing and focusing on the clearing aspect. And the clearing aspect is almost, it almost like disintegrates and just falls away into, um, microscopic specks, and just floats away and turns into just dust. Um, there those things that were that energy that was holding them in our awareness or in our belief system has now been cleared and dissolved.
Yeah.
How do you see that happening, Terry?
Um, how does it I don't know, it's just cleared right away, but I do know that like even right now I'm feeling a little bit of a headache. I definitely am going to need a lot of water. And I never say that. That if I say I need water, we're talking you're going to need to drink a lot of water. But there's something about that it kind of dissolves from your body. Um, I never took time to ask him if this happens very fast or very slow, but I have a feeling this happens fairly fast because in this case, because we needed so many Akashic Records masters to draw this out, um, I think that it's this is a much more energetic, um, heavy lift for all of us. Um,
Hmm.
in fact, when they told me about this, when they said this is what you're going to do next, um, and I was kind of feeling into it, I'm like, I could see like the future, the past, and I'm like, what are you guys going to do? Is this going to be a bunch of mud wrestling Akashic masters? I mean, are we going to be mud wrestling? You know, I mean, because it's very deep, and they thought that over a moment and said, no, we can use all the master. We can just use a lot of hands, you know. And I'm like, that's good because I don't know if I can like describe energetic mud wrestling. So
So Carolyn was saying that French Protestants, many were killed. That
mm,
was the name of that,
ah,
the refugees. But there's just so many religious killings and
right.
takeovers and hostages and refugees, and
And from
it's
all religions, not just
it,
not just Christian
yeah,
religions.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Hmm. Yep. And it's all because of, desire of control and greed, you know.
And fear. Remember that started, they were fearful that the crops wouldn't grow, and maybe they ought to sacrifice somebody, um, and then all these things become codified. Yeah.
As if it is, as if it was, and it just it's amazing how long we went without anybody questioning it. And I'm sure that people questioned it, but did they? There was just so much of a herd mentality and so much of a, community that believed other than what you clearly saw, that it was not easy to break away. Or think differently. Or, just like the Holocaust. I mean, how many people saved people from the Holocaust because they knew it was the wrong thing. And just, and that's just one small example. We can say that with a lot of different religious
Yeah. So
killings.
just to kind of sum this up, um, this particular healing is part of the 3-part series. But what they really, really want to impress upon you is that this is about your own spiritual sovereignty, that you are a part of God. We all were fractals of God that were, God wanted to experience. And while we think we're separate, we're actually one. And so I always imagine it like each one of us have a little teeny golden nugget of God in us. That's kind of how I imagine it. That's probably my very limited imagination, but um, we are all part of God, and I just know that now as we are coming into ascension, coming into changes, and really in a lot of ways we are um, evolving as a people, that they want to remind us of our own spiritual sovereignty, that we are in control of this. And when I do readings at fairs or even personal readings, I hear it again and again and again for them. We are in charge of our lives. We are the ones that are supposed to make the decisions, and that means they trust us too. So trust yourself and find your religious sovereignty. Okay, well, everybody, I hope I'll see you back next week. They're going to do the last one in the series, which is they're going to strengthen and restore the psychic connections to spirit so that you have more bandwidth, so you have more ability to exercise that sovereignty. So, okay.
In your own guidance. Well, that was really
Yep.
very beautiful. Thank you very much, Terry. Thank you, everybody, for your participation and for holding space here, and for everybody that's watching later. And we're looking forward to seeing everybody again next week. And that's going to be really enlightening, I think. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks a lot. And thank you for participating. Bye.
Bye-bye.